Hello, Champion Patriots, coming to you live at the Rock the Red Conference. My man, Prusty Stutz, who's up in heaven watching over us. And as you guys know, the founder of Conservative Business Journal and the host of the CBJ Real News podcast show, the word conservative is very powerful.
It certainly is.
And I'm here with the world-famous fellow full-blooded Italian from New York, Annie Marie Delgado, who's the founder of Conservative Watch. So, Annie, just kind of give us a recap. You did a great presentation today, great message. What does Conservative Watch mean to you?
Conservative Watch means a lot to all of us because Conservative Watch USA, what we do, especially here in the state of Florida, we are absolutely making sure that conservatism remains and Florida stays red and free. We can say that we are indeed in a battle and in a war. And see, but this war, John, this is spiritual war, number one, first and foremost. But it's good against evil. And socialism and communism is not good for this country. Well, any country that it's in, you see it fails. So conservatives must rise together and absolutely take this country back from the hands and the grip that this current regime has, and the Congress and the Senate.
Let's talk about something, too, that you and I agree 10,000% on. How important is it to expose the rhinos, especially in Florida?
That's number one, and they don't call me the rhino hunter for no reason. They call me the rhino hunter. That's vitally important because, look,
what does a rhino mean? We know what it means, Republican name only, but give character traits of rhinos, please.
Right. Well, we expect the backstabbing and the dirty tricks and the sliminess, is what I'll call it, from the Democrats, okay? But when we have Republicans that we have elected to represent our constituents, our communities, our areas, and they're voting for Democrat issues. Like one of them that really, really gets to me is the red flag law. The red flag law is so dangerous to our Second Amendment rights. And not only does it affects each and every one of us, but our veterans especially. You know, veterans come back home. They have issues. They got their legs blown off of their arms or whatever it may be, okay? And they have a little PTSD. And so they need to see and talk to a counselor. Well, just because they go to and talk to a counselor, then they're reported, and then they're put on a list, and then they go to their house and they remove their weapons. They're going to do that to you.
Plus you realize they're going to utilize it, the left's going to utilize it to shut down security of the conservatives. I mean, the red flag law was so dangerous, and we didn't have any pre-conversation about this interview at all. To me, this is one of the most dangerous potential laws being passed. Is red flag law is dangerous, is brutal. Second question I want to have for you today. Tell everyone how awesome President Trump is, and you were working for him when you were like 6 years old. This is a great story. And tell me your background with billionaire real estate developer Trump to President Trump.
Well, President Trump, I have known him for decades, and like you saw up on the screen, you know, I call it my baby picture with him. You know, from the 80s into the 90s. In the 90s, I was an elected commissioner in the city of Palm Beach Gardens. I'm raised in Palm Beach County, and when President Trump came in and bought Mar-a-Lago, I can tell you, that was in 1985. I watched every step of this magnificent piece of real estate. He brought it back to life. It was amazing. And then, of course, he built out the Trump International in West Palm Beach, Trump National in Jupiter. And as we went along, I worked for him when he...
So what did you do when you say you worked for him? What would you do?
Okay, back then, real estate-wise, because I'm a broker. I'm a broker developer myself. And we auctioned off the Trump Plaza in West Palm Beach on Flagler Drive. That was an amazing, amazing venture to go through with him. And
what was the best part about it for you?
He gave me my first nickname.
What was it?
Spitfire. Yeah, he said, I want to meet that Spitfire because I sold like multiple units overnight. And so, you know, but the one thing I will say about, you know, knowing Mr. Trump, working for Mr. Trump, and certainly working for him on the campaign, when he hired me to be the state director of grassroots and coalitions, I was the only one that he personally hired himself. And knowing this man, he is a man of his word. He is a man of the most highest integrity and respect, especially for women. I have never, in all the decades of time that I've known this man, ever see him disrespect a woman, ever. And so that being said, I knew that this was a very unique campaign and working for President Trump's campaign because he could not be bought, self-funded. First time I've done hundreds of campaigns, hundreds of them. But this one was so interesting in particular in the sense of the fact that we ran our own show. Nobody could buy us, no special interests, no corporations, no lobbyists especially. So we were free reign to go out there and
that's capitalism. That goes for all the media too. If you're bored, anybody pays your salary, you're bored out. I mean, that's why when you're self-funded, it is so important what you just said. That's why they're all bored out. That's why I believe there's going to be a breakthrough. Final question. One final question for you, Governor DeSantis.
Woohoo! Final answer.
How strong do you think the fight here is in Florida for us between now and November?
Listen, we can't take anything for granted. Governor DeSantis is looking very, very well. I think he's probably the most popular governor in the United States of America currently as we stand here today. But we can't take any of that for granted because we know they play dirty tricks.
That's right.
And you've got the dirtiest trickster that's running against him, Charlie Crist, which I know personally for decades as well and worked with him. But that being said, look, we're looking good, but we want to make sure that we take it all the way to the final line,
right.
Cross the line, get him past that line all the way. Yeah.
Annie Mira Delgado, thank you, young lady.
Thank you.
You're
sir.
awesome.
Thank you. God bless you all.
And your website is?
conservativewatchusa.com, or you can email us at conservativewatchusa@gmail.com.
Excellent. Thank you.